Hello everybody, this is Adrian on Sunday, May the 24th, and it's a beautiful day today. Temperatures are up in the high 20s, but we've also got a nice cooling breeze, so it's absolutely perfect. So I thought today I'd just do a sort of a general update on a few of the trees that I've got growing down here in Folkestone. So the first one I've featured a few times before. This is the Mexicola graft that I grafted last year, the spring of last year. So all of the growth that you see is all basically from spring of 2025. And when I put this tree out from the greenhouse, initially the sun scorched some of the leaves quite badly, and the plant ejected them, but there's now lots and lots of new growth coming through, which you can see, and these leaves are obviously completely hardened to the sunshine, and so no chance of any more scorching. I did consider whitewashing the stem on this tree, but basically I forgot. It's now been out in the scorching sun a few times. It doesn't seem to be getting any sunburn, so I should just leave it as it is. And then next to it, we have the seedling. This is the one that flowered for the first time this year. And then that's not very good from that angle. And then the flowers dried up and fell off very, very quickly, which is fine, as it was only its first year of flowering. So again, this tree, when I first put it out from the greenhouse, can you see that? Let's bring it into the sunshine a bit. A little bit of sun scorch on some of the leaves. You can see the tips got a bit fried, but no lasting damage. And now all these top leaves are beautiful and healthy, nice and green, and it's doing very well. And then for Dom, or Mobius, as some of you know, nestled in front of these two trees, by the way, are growing in pots, is this pawpaw tree. And this is one that was very kindly sold to me by Dom earlier this year, and it's doing really nicely now, flushing out lots of new growth. Even has a flower, obviously. Oops, had a flower that's fallen off, so clearly that flower wasn't going to do anything, but I wasn't expecting it to do anything anyway. If I pan back a little bit and kind of give you an idea of size, so the fence is a 5-foot fence, I would say, maybe 5.5 foot, something like that. You can see that Mexicola is in quite a small pot compared to the seedling, and then you see the pawpaw in the middle, and then if I sort of scroll up a little bit, you'll see the Mexicola is somewhere around 5 foot tall, and then the seedling, if you can see all of it from there, is about 7 foot tall, maybe a bit over 7 foot tall, but that kind of height. Just to the right of it, down here, we have a Mayor's lemon growing in ground. The reason why I put this Mayor's lemon here is because behind it I have a Satsuma, which I don't put any protection on at all, ever. And as you can see, this Satsuma is doing absolutely fine, zero protection. So I'm thinking this isn't a bad spot for citrus down here. Now I will protect, well, both of these plants because they're so close to each other. I will protect the Mayor's lemon, certainly in its first year, because I only put it in spring, beginning of spring. But it seems to like it here. It's producing lots and lots of flowers, new growth. So yeah, it's doing quite nicely down here. Okay, if I go along the garden a little bit, show you this. So this is a I can't remember what they call it now. The hardy citrus. Was it trifoliata? Is it? And then a long time ago, sort of somewhere around the beginning of summer last year, I thought, you know what, I'll put a couple of bits of Satsuma on this and see what happens. Anyway, I kind of forgot all about them, but here they are. And this one If you can just see if I can get close enough. Looks like it's just about to start pushing out some growth at the top. But if I go to the other one, come on, focus. This has literally in the last week started pushing out new growth. Now these grafts had zero protection all winter, and the sort of idea was that I'll graft some satsuma onto this trifoliata and sort of see what happens. And what has happened is after, well, certainly 9 months, if not possibly 10 months, they've started to grow. So I'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. Next to that I have a Nikita's Gift persimmon, which I bought last year. Lovely specimen, nice size, but no flowers this year. This is the first year I've had it. Has got this kind of weird, can anybody see that? This weird grey dots on some of the leaves. Not all of them, but some of them. I'm wondering if it's got a bit of an infection of some kind. But it's growing very strongly, so I'm not too concerned. In fact, it's growing really very well, so I'll probably just leave that and let it deal with whatever problems it's got. As you get further away from the trunk, the leaves have less and less of this these black marks. So I'm hoping that's just, I don't know, something that's on the early leaves and not on the main leaves. Okay, if I spin round, walk over here. Yeah, here we have what's this one? This is this is my Fuyu persimmon. And this one's doing very well indeed. Flowers are, can you see that? Is that going to focus? Focus, come on. Flowers are open, not all of them, but some of them are open. So that's quite nice to see. I think there was a bigger one around here if I remember rightly. Yeah, let's have a look at that. So yeah, that flower's basically fully open. Not sure if I'm supposed to hand pollinate these or not, but oh, it looks like there's an ant in there doing it for me. Anyway, I shan't hand pollinate them. I should just leave them to do their thing. And then here's my other persimmon. This one is what is this one? Hang on. Khaki. Can you see that? Khaki pendula. You can see this has a very weeping sort of aspect to it. Has some flowers on it. This is an incredibly astringent and incredibly thick-skinned persimmon. But when they are sweet, they go very soft, and they're beautiful. But boy, oh boy, if you pick these early, you really know about it because they're highly, highly astringent. Okay, if we go down the side of the greenhouse, so let's go from this angle, shall we? Yeah. So this is the allegedly the bacon grafted plant that was in terrible condition last year, so I've put it in the ground. It completely defoliated, 100% defoliation over winter. So yeah, it's not doing too bad. Put out loads of new growth, which is nice. Loads and loads of flowers, some of which are open. I'm not really expecting the flowers to set any fruit this year because it's still, in my mind, not the strongest plant in the world. But it is making a comeback, and hopefully by the end of this year the roots will have recovered, because the roots were really in terrible condition, and we'll get some nice strong foliage, and that will set it up for the winter. If I spin round, by comparison, you can see this seedling, which has got some established roots, and you can see the leaves are very, very different indeed. So yeah, this is what I'm hoping the grafted plant will look like towards the end of the year. I'm trying to keep this plant very, very low to give it a sort of a bushy aspect. I keep picking the top out, but the top, I mean this piece here, about I don't know, 5-6 inches long, has grown in the last 2 weeks, and I picked the top of this out a couple of days ago. I don't know if you can see the little top in there that I picked out, and there's already three side shoots shooting up, and some more lower down here as well. This is really vigorous, and it's a bit annoying because I don't want all this growth out the top, so I'm just going to keep picking the top, see what happens, and then hopefully this growth lower down will come through. If I just go back here, give you an idea of size. The bottom of the roof on the greenhouse is 5 foot, so that seedling is 5 foot high, and this grafted plant is currently about 4 foot high, I guess. Okay, let's take a look inside the greenhouse. Excuse the movement on the camera. So some things in the greenhouse which I don't normally talk about very much. Got 4 fig trees at the back here. Our local park has a fig tree which produced some very nice figs, so I took a cutting. Don't know what variety it is, but got some lovely little Braber figs coming along on there, so that's very nice. This next plant here, for those of you that have been to visit the large hash tree in Southwark, you may or may not have noticed just around the corner a really rather nice fig tree. Anyway, this is a cutting from said fig tree, so we'll wait and see what happens. This fig tree I bought commercially, and it is a panache, I believe. Yeah, it's a panache. No signs of any figs on this yet, but I'm hopeful that that'll maybe produce some main crop. If not, that'll be next year. And then next to that, I bought a commercial brown turkey, and that is, if I remember rightly, yeah, just beginning to produce some little figs there. So 4 little fig trees, and then below that is my finger lime, which I've had a few years, and this has never ever flowered or set fruit, but this year it has. All the fruits are very low down, sort of on the bottom third of the plant, even maybe the bottom quarter of the plant, but there are little finger limes everywhere, so that's very cool. Very happy with that. Next to it I have this plant here, which is a mango. It doesn't really do anything. If I zoom in here, you can see it has a crown which, you know, it looks like it's trying to put out new stuff, but it just sits there and doesn't really put out any new stuff. So we'll wait and see. Right, one of my frustrations. This is a kumquat, and this kumquat was absolutely full of fruit when I bought it. I don't know how many, but 30, 40, I don't know, just so many fruits on it. And it's never fruited or even flowered since. And as you can see, lots and lots of lovely new growth on it, but not even the slightest hint of a flower. I'm keeping this in the greenhouse this year to see if I can encourage it to flower, but it's not looking hopeful. And then next to it is another kumquat, which also had loads and loads of fruit when I bought it. This one's probably about 3 years old now. Again, we have new growth and no flowers. I really don't know what I'm doing wrong with kumquats. They are my bogey citrus, I think. And then lastly is the fairly enormous now in-ground seedling avocado. So let me go just a bit further back maybe. So sort of looking at it from this angle, greenhouse is 10 foot high to the top, gives you an idea of the height. All of those dark red leaves, which you can see are quite enormous, let me just zoom in a bit. Those are from the graft of the London Hass or Julienne, whichever you prefer. So they are doing absolutely fabulously. Now, I did report earlier on this year that all the flowers on this tree had dried up and died. However, let me see if I can find something. They certainly had all dried up, but I noticed, see if I can get this to focus. Is there enough light on that? Hang on, let's see if I can get this into the light. Can I get it into the light? That is a tiny embryonic avocado. I can't really reach it. Oh, I can reach it just about. Right up the top here. There. There you go. There's another tiny little embryonic avocado. I think at the very top of the tree up here, which I can't really be bothered to film, it's too high up, there will probably be loads. Here, again, another tiny little embryonic. Focus. I do hate photography with phones. They just don't focus, do they? Hopeless things. No, I don't think it's going to focus. Anyway, a little tiny embryonic avocado. I haven't bothered counting to see how many there are, but there were definitely some. I think is probably the best way to describe it at this stage. So we'll wait and see whether or not any of those stay on the tree or not. Be kind of cool if they do, and not the end of the world if they don't, because if they don't, my plan is to trim back all of this top part of the tree really very heavily indeed. Probably take 1/3 of the tree off, so that there's a lot more light available for these London Julienne